Abom ana esibu so Wontumi is still making the news and ekobomu ewo metro but before that Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia Russia be Kumasi abe meeting after the emergency meeting MPP Accra. Subsequent addition okosra Chairman Wontumi on some prisons and I've noticed one comment on social media among for be say na then Bawumia ye me Chairman on the matter or drive all the way to Kumasi and then answer be emergency meeting ye tetene say wa other MP legal team no ba meeting no me certainly meeting nkobi but obi obi abekasa ohene ba kwabena asiedu ananya kwabena na asiedu ono ye Wontumi morning shows no ho na ne ekosi no abebom amane ne Bawumia ka kire wom ene instructions odi ama wom over Wontumi ni nyina odi abetu dwa me wi a Bernard Bedo ne Paul Adom-Otchere, very interesting discussion the course Metro TV still on Wontumi. Meshama on the Bawumia bed. That's actually why I'm doing this video. It's make sure so subscribe and subscribe and click the notification with the video be to who knows what we are. You have a comment, feel free leave that comment in the comment section. Make sure so we have a Goldberry construction method and episodes in assassin character some of the documentations related to your house and Goldberry in the BD stage managing the amount. Now Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia be Kumasi a lot of conversations about that. Na ne free mobile no na mini meeting as no call meeting ni be exclusively ni ode ba bonten ene de Bawumia be ka kire wo eniye
meeting
Chairman
was supposed to be
regional council meeting
so constituency chairpersons and secretaries but of course when him say Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia hodo and party who don't know maybe say na
so wo bi
other people come through and me so me call hono edika me fast damma party mpenifo and then His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia na ankasa me na se papa hapa for that swift initiative say regional council meeting there because say regional executives and the free normal free council members in but we the no conversation na e ono and na a request say and many ya say nshemu de ne dey e baso
ona say nye regional nkasa na organize ye
Debbie from the conversation utie general secretary nkoma odi na sem hokan na Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and a request he say Monday the CN no he called for an emergency meeting with the legal committee and as a party legal team no say omunyi na nhia and then press conference subsequently omoye no right after judgment no Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia the flag bearer of the party and the director he say the party should address the party people and Ghanaians at large. Ono any two sana mono. Ono na say put the legal team of the party together. Many penning lawyer Bafo lawyer Frank Davies, Iratachia, Godfred Dame, Gary Makun, omuna put themselves together. Say almost say and ready judgment no. Na from Enra the Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia ne lawyer Bafo ankasa kan ne chese bia we be free Monday acha by the close of next week omo be file appeal no eno so e ono a na a lead that conversation no e ma omo ye na owie no request say e we say ni manim ya oba asante mantema na regional council meeting koso na on the party for ni be din komo no hye nkran na fi Otchere anamuntu a ono ne party fo nyina edey etu na enyantiase e wodi asinim na before that no na ono asaye se ontumi Marshante region na obedru na party fo busan se ufrin kran na eba utwamu e wonsawam ansa na wodru nkran chama wontumi ho te se ya na waka kire mu se mefiri Kumasi ya na mekoho enu ntino na nansane ne ono yes ono abese lead team delegation from the MPP party no na umakwa akwohwe Chairman Wontumi sere ne ho sitie ansana enra no wabekumase asante mantema eno abehia eno soso no ono a na initiative okono your former national chairman Ira Fred Blee and the party Penfuina Edinechi and the Kubi. And so Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Yaminshan.
Yes. Na Paul Adom-Otchere nso ni Ira Bernard Bedu na nya sem because I'm boy normal later but when ka akron the Bawumia thing I don't think it's an endorsement of wrong. I don't think so. I think that it is only natural. You see, maybe you may not like Wontumi. Someone may like Wontumi, but I've always said that context is very important. One, Wontumi is Ashanti Regional Chairman. You don't expect MPP to just leave things as that. Yes, ebia kan omo hwekro mutia yo mo de na ebi o manisu no mu ye bibi. All those things are speculation. But frankly, you expect them people not or the candidate of whether Bawumia or Kennedy not to do anything for Wontumi in this time? Certainly not. So I think that it's expected. It's expected. And I've always told you people that there's an appellate process. The appeals court, it can go all the way to the Supreme, especially when Akwatia is raising constitutional matters. Based on Article 132, it can go all the way to the Supreme Court. And I've always told you that psych your mind, say you could see unkunya blood pressure, ema kasanwa. You be file bail appeal. You file appeal, they can file for bail pending the hearing of the appeal. Wontumi can go home. It's a possibility. Put it at the back of your mind. And kunya blood pressure home. The second is that Wontumi can be denied bail while the appeal happens. Third option, I'm going to say, 15 to 25 years. Wontumi betimi akwa appeal no akonya 25 years no. Obetimi akwa appeal no ma maintain 20 no. Obetimi akwa appeal no ma teso aba 15, ema 5, ema 10, ema 14.57 kra, 15 minimum. Maximum 25. Itifani nyina two trim ekosia blood pressure ma. But some of the issues that have been raised about the circumstantial evidence, as a judges no, evidence no the jail to circumstantial. Bernard Bedu no Paul Adom-Otchere Metro TV.
Let's understand all the things. Let's understand what circumstantial evidence is before we make some comments.
Okay.
Circumstantial evidence is not direct evidence. And the courts have also often all the time said that proof beyond reasonable doubt is not proof beyond all doubt.
Yes.
That point has been made.
Okay.
And the standard, my brother Paul wants to take the judiciary, then nobody will ever be convicted in this country. So what is circumstantial evidence? The courts of appeal explained circumstantial evidence, and the judge, essentially reproduced it in Dua versus the Republic. And this is what it's important that your viewers hear this.
Okay.
Circumstantial evidence that's Dua versus the Republic, and that's 1987, 1988. Circumstantial evidence was evidence of surrounding circumstances which by undesigned coincidence was capable of proving a proposition with the accuracy of mathematics. This is a criminal trial, and yet this is the standard. In criminal cases, it was sometimes not possible to prove the crime charged by direct or positive evidence of persons present at the time the crime was committed. So where the testimony of, this is the Court of Appeal speaking, where the testimony of eyewitnesses was not available, the jury was entitled and indeed permitted to infer from those facts, from those facts which the prosecution had proved. Other facts necessary either to complete the elements of guilt or establish innocence. However, before drawing the inference of the guilt of an accused from circumstantial evidence, it was important to make sure that there was no other coexisting circumstance, it's not your words, circumstance, which would destroy or weaken the inference. Let me just apply it here. So, as you rightly said, it is not for nothing that when there is an arrest of or accused person of 4 or 3, usually, I'm not saying it may not be good, but usually they are all supposed to be coached together. But because the moment anyone says anything against the other or any of you, it goes to hurt all of you. Because if you were all found in a room and yet you are all saying different things as to the reason you were in the room, then it presupposes that all of you know something that we all don't know. Do you understand? So if the court is saying that we must be sure, or the court must be sure that the inference. There is no coexisting circumstance that could weaken the inference. We were not there. You and I were not there. You actually said you know the gentleman. The gentleman was there on your authority. You said, yes, it's true. He was there on my authority. The essence of a circumstantial evidence is to find out whether what you are saying actually could or would be the truth as compared to what another person is saying. So you make certain inferences. So whatever happened, the judge admitted that because there was no, and you see, proof, evidence is not just paper. It could be calling a witness. That in all this, I even had a meeting with him here, and we said this. Wontumi did not produce a single person who knew about whatever arrangement they had. The fact that they didn't exist does not mean that actually nothing happened, because it had been. And again, let me.
Yes, the other part who didn't, the other guy who didn't produce any other person. No,
they were. The gentleman was arrested for an offense. Let's get it. He wasn't just a witness. Please, that's the difference. The gentleman was arrested, and he said, "I am here because of this person." That is a way. There is some weight that we put. It's not just anybody. Then he was arrested during the act, and he said, "I'm here," and you are saying, "Yes, I know him. I took him there." The only departure is what you claim you made. So the judge will evaluate whatever you are putting across, whether it's actually the case. That's where circumstantial evidence comes in. Because none of you is able to, because the only contention is what he may have done there. That's the galamsey, which is the fact that it was done. There is no dispute. Who did it? And it's also known that the gentleman
he also mentions that reclamation was also done.
No, but the reclamation that is done, the judge said, even if that is the case, you didn't even have the permission and the law to do it. But the judge smartly came to the offenses that is before him. So nobody was, and again, let me put it, nobody was convicted. I've heard some grounds of appeal. If you take I can confidently say, if your grounds of appeal is under the law of reclamation, you lose, because nobody was convicted under that crime.
Okay.
The crime is on illegal mining and facilitating. Now let me read, because he said something about the facilitating. I don't know which article he's reading, and unfortunately the gentleman has not quoted the decision for me. I will deal with the decision where the court dealt with the facilitation, when the court was concluded all his findings on the counts. That's on count 4, purposely facilitating an unlicensed mining. The court never said ought to know. I don't know where he got it from. Let me read to you. This court has found
to know that he was doing galamsey.
Where did the court say it? That's the question I'm asking. I have the judgment here. And the judgment per 56. So please, let's go with the judgment. On count 4, purposely facilitating an unlicensed mining. That's what you refer to. Let's listen to what the court said. This court has found that PW2's mining and reclamation activities on the concession contravened. It didn't say you ought to know. Contravened 14.1 and section 59 of Act 703. That no penalty is separately specified in the Act for a contravention of section 59. That first accused facilitated PW1 and PW2's contravention by permitting them onto the site, introducing PW2 as a supplier of excavators. And that was also made. Wontumi admitted that yes, he introduced him to him, but he said he never paid a dime. He considered a lot. You introduce somebody for do we use excavators to plant coconut? Advocates in this country, even reclamation, bulldozers are used, not excavators. You are not saying
so that even if they didn't mine and it was only reclamation day,
no, but
still an offense.
That's a fact.
No, hold on. From what you are reading, it looks like even if they didn't mine, it's still an offense to take him there without the minister's permission.
That has been made.
No, I'm saying something.
No,
even if they didn't
the assumption that it looks like I'm reading. So
from what you are reading.
No, I'm not done. Please. Introducing PW2 to, okay, so let me read it well for you. Maybe you didn't get. This court has found that PW2's mining and reclamation activities on the concession, because both were found.
Yes.
On the concession contravened section 41.
That's what I'm saying. So reclamation contravenes.
Yes.
Mining also contravenes.
Yeah, no, but different laws.
Yeah, I get that.
Yes.
But the reclamation contravenes.
Yes.
So that even if there is no mining,
why are you saying no mining?
No, you don't seem to get it.
I get it, but the offense, no.
It must be together.
No, it necessarily not. But I'm saying that.
So one can be prosecuted for taking somebody onto your land without the minister's license, whether it's for reclamation or whether it's for mining. If I let you on my land without the minister's license, the offense has been created.
Yes, different offenses.
Well,
because you see that
an offense has been created.
Yes.
If I say go onto my land,
Yes.
I don't have the minister's permission to take you on my land.
If there's a concession.
A concession, but I say go and reclaim land.
Yes.
That's
still an offense.
It's still an offense.
But that
and the offense is grounded because it was without the minister's permission.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. So, but in this case, because in that case, they have the position of Wontumi's lawyer is that the offense is defined, but no punishment attached with the reclamation.
Yeah.
So the judge did, and I'm saying that the judge didn't convict on reclamation.
But was
Even
that
though,
correct law?
What?
That the reclamation has no offense attached to it?
It is not, but the judge dealt with it.
And the judge said it's bad law?
No, the judge didn't. He gave and he did some justice to it. We don't have time. I'll show you where he said that. But you see, for me, the fact that nobody was convicted on reclamation is the point I'm making. But let me even finish reading what the judge said.
Time is almost up.
I beg. Introducing PW, he gave me 2 minutes of his time. Introducing PW22, a supply of excavators, and enlisting the Western Regional Security Council to protect PW2's operations. In fact, that's what happened. Because the gentleman said that Wontumi actually applied and got permission from the Western Regional Security Council to protect him, to reclaim. I mean, that's where circumstantial evidence comes in. The judge ought to analyze. Really, did you need the Western Regional Security Council's protection to reclaim a land?
Okay.
So obviously, you are not telling the truth. And that is what the Julia versus Admire, all the circumstantial evidence points to.
Okay.
Anybody that comes to court and says, I'm not guilty, certainly, even if he did it, he will lie.
All right.
I'm not saying this is what happened. Okay. So it is for the judge to evaluate what you have put there and put the probative value on the pieces of evidence. How do you go to court and say, I know him, I took him there, but what he was doing, I didn't, and you didn't show a single report you made to the police concerning his operations there.
All right. Let me do this quickly. Let me just do.
There's one last matter before we go to this the TikTok matter.
Okay.
The other matter, honorable, that people are considering is that this gentleman, the PW1,
Yes.
was aware that his freedom was based on the extent to which he can speak.
Yes.
And that creates a problem because self-preservation is the first for every human being. If I know that I have to go and say A and I will be free and Wontumi will go and A is correct, I may add B and C and D. So that witness should have been looked at, and his statement taken almost hook, line, and sinker is problematic for some lawyers.
You see, but I've told you, I've dealt with
that
that
when he was
matter.
arrested,
He said it. He didn't even know.
Everything he said in court, he wrote it.
Yes.
Even before an opportunity was given for him to plead.
Is it, brother? The point is that the
So that when he was arrested, he was not interested in defending himself.
No. He said
He
everything.
was interested in giving the information so that he would be
because
jailed.
according to
that he would be jailed.
Well,
no,
That's what it means.
hold on.
If you are arrested and you are telling me that when he was arrested,
let me answer.
when he was arrested, he said
please.
everything.
No,
He knew that he was.
No, he didn't know because he thought he was actually within the law. Somebody has a license, a lease, and ask you to go and mine in his name. Okay. So he thought
he believed that in 2020, when was he arrested? 2025.
Yes.
He believed that in 2025,
yes,
with all what had happened in Ghana, he was doing galamsey and it was lawful.
Let's do law.
No, he didn't even know he was doing galamsey.
No, he didn't know. He said, I'm mining and I'm here on the authority of the lease holder.
So you're saying that the PW guy who was mining, he didn't know that what he was doing was wrong.
No, he was actually mining. He said he's a small scale.
In Ghana. He's already a small scale miner.
Why? I don't really have any people who are legally mining. No, don't bring in that aspect because there is a change of government. If you're doing something like
I'm not talking about change of government. You don't seem to get me.
Okay.
I'm not talking about change of government at all. I'm talking about the disposition. Okay. Yeah. So forget about 2025. Let's call it 2024 so that you'll be satisfied that there's no change of government. In June 2024, a miner, one who claims that he's a miner, is found in a mining concession mining in June 2024 with all what had happened in Ghana since 2019, and he believes that what he's doing is right. He's doing galamsey.
So let me ask you.
He believes what he's doing is right only because the concessionaire allowed him to.
Yes, and there's no doubt about
by 2024, it had become obvious with the work of the Ghana Journalists Association, Ken Ashigbe's committee that had gone around everywhere. It had become obvious that kind of mining is illegal. It's galamsey. They use some fine equipment had been seized. But I mean, he knows more. If it is true that this guy was not aware at that time that what he was doing was illegal, then he must be very ignorant, and that's okay. Perhaps that is to the benefit of the prosecution, but I don't know how.
So, but that's what he said initially.
In Ghana in 2025, is mining. When they see soldiers coming, they run away all the time. that they are mining and then
he wasn't lucky. He couldn't have run away.
Well, hold on. I'm saying that they know that what they are doing is wrong. That is why when they see they went to meet
so he didn't run. He was arrested.
He was there.
And then when
he told them what he's doing. Yes. On the authority, yes, because the license holder is Chairman Wontumi. Yes.
Concession. Did he ask you to come and mine?
Yes.
He asked me to come and mine.
When the Galamsey matter became political.
Yes.
Okay. There was a lot of political showboating.
Yes.
We had the MPP Western Regional guy stand on platform and say that they are not going to stop the miners today and will stop the miners tomorrow because it was as a result of this Galamsey process that MPP lost parliamentary seats in 2020. We had heard Joseph Yamin also speak similarly on the other side. So there's a lot of political showboating with the mining.
Yes.
That does not take the fact that emphasizes the fact that they all know that what they are doing is wrong, but they are doing it on political basis. That's what is happening. So for us to hear that this gentleman was mining and all he thought was required was a genuine concession.
But those guys, those chaps who made those comments, were not saying that we will do illegal mining. They would have been arrested. No, they said we will mine today, we will mine tomorrow.
Pay 25
whether they are legal or illegal mining, we don't know. But they said they will mine today and they will mine tomorrow.
By the time the process was over, by the time Akufo-Addo banned the mining in 2017 and restored it in 2018, by the time the restoration came, many people knew that about 70% of the mining that had been happening, which we call small-scale mining, was illegal. And so people were educated on that. But we are talking about 2024 here.
No, page 35. The judgment, page 35. During cross-examination, this is what PW2 said. It says sometime in September 2024, so you can understand him. He is telling his story. I discovered a mining site located in Samraboy. Upon conducting a search, this is not a Galamsey. At the Minerals Commission, I was informed that the area in question was a registered concession standing in the name of A3, which is Akonta Mining.
Okay.
Following this confirmation, I contacted A1 to discuss the possibility of mining on the unmined portions within the said concession. So this is a person who thinks he did the right thing because he went to the Minerals Commission and realized that the thing belongs to you. He's a small scale miner. You've done the large scale. I want to do the intem. When you go to there, that's the vocabulary they use. So he came to you and then told you that I want to go and do the intem. You've done the big one. Then they had a certain gentleman's agreement that go and do it and use the proceeds, part of the proceeds to cover it. This rather makes sense to me. Because how do you ask somebody to go and reclaim and then a small scale miner to use which money? And who paid for the excavators? And excavators to do reclamation when indeed they should be bulldozers. You took them there and then you claim the site belonged to you and you never stepped foot there. You in fact procured the security of the Western Regional Security Council to protect it. To do reclamation. So it didn't make sense.
Okay.
With the greatest respect. That is why circumstantial evidence says that at least whatever has been put out there, if there is no direct evidence, should lead to a certain conclusion. Inference is allowed under circumstantial evidence, but it should lead to a certain conclusion that it is the person we are claiming he did whatever is the one actually that did it.
Yes, I don't have a view on this one because you know my views on this matter. That I don't want to repeat myself. Me ya. Until view I want of how they bring in analysis. Make sure to subscribe, mommy. Or subscribe and click the bell notification. The video be at what we should be. We are now. Watch on Edi amame. Mihiao Ghana and Bye bye.